Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So we are in North Texas, which means there's an insurance person on every street corner, but to set yourself apart, you have to define your market and you have to be passionate about your business. And that describes my next guest. Mark Villasana is in the studio. He's with Northwest Insurance Agency. Thanks for coming on the show.
How are you doing, Jeff? Good to see you.
Absolutely. You've been doing this since 1996. That's a long time.
Yeah, it goes by fast. You know what they say, time flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah. And you do home, business,
yeah,
auto?
Primarily, we write a lot of auto, we write a lot of home, and we've really started to focus on the commercial business, the small to medium contractors.
And you've defined a market that has done really well for you, and let's talk about that.
Yeah, I'd love to. So we started out organically and grew in the Hispanic market. It wasn't our purpose, but we ended up where a majority of our clientele happens to be small to medium artists and contractors. And those are people that are just getting started in a particular type of business. And we are able to help them procure insurance when no one else was able to give it to them because they don't have any experience, right? There's no, experience modifier on these policies. So we're able to get them started, get them going, and we found that they've been very loyal to us.
Well, you were sharing a story right before we started taping about one of your favorite success stories.
Yeah, so we have a framing contractor who actually is no longer a client of ours, but it's still a story I'm proud of. They originally came to us, the gentleman was not from this country, from Mexico, so he wanted to start a company. We helped him get his company registered and helped him procure insurance. A lot of companies would not take him because he was not a citizen. He had no background in the industry. Yes. So we were able to get him insurance, and we progressively watched him just grow and grow and grow to where now when you drive around, you see his trucks everywhere. And he's actually outgrown me. I've actually had to send him off to a larger agency, wow. But that still makes me proud knowing that I was able to help him get started. And we have a lot of stories like that.
And I think it's so much of what gets you out of bed in the morning is educating people. So some of the people that you're serving, do they just see insurance as just a part of the law that they have to get it, or is part of your business really helping people appreciate?
Well, I think where we excel is that we explain, right? I think the insurance industry now has become just numbers. Yeah. People can call a 1-800 number. People can go online and they can get insurance, lickety split. Right. When I got into the industry 30 plus years ago, we served more as counselors, right? People would come to us and say, this is what I want to protect. How do I protect it? Yes. And so I've kind of kept to that model. Yeah. And it's really helped in these type of clientele because these people come to us, they really don't know what they're purchasing, all they know is they need to have it. Someone has told them along the way, whether it be a bank, a lending institution, you need to have insurance. And so I try to explain to them why and where they can tailor their coverages to fit their needs.
Outstanding. We're going to pull up your website, and as we scroll down the website, let's talk about the explosive growth of your company. You started this in 1996. Yeah. What's the last 30 years looked like for you? Well, the last 30 years has looked like, I guess, almost any other industry. It's become more automated. Mm-hmm. It's become less personable, and it's become something that the middleman, which, let's be honest, which insurance brokers are, has become less and less a necessity. Mm-hmm. So we've fought over the last 30 years to make sure we express to our clientele that it is necessary to have someone in your corner, a broker, if you will. And I'd say that's the main change I've seen in the industry, where it's
the automation has gotten out of control.
Well, and I want to brag about you because you inadvertently introduced me to Dale Hansen, who was on my show 2 weeks ago, and it was an amazing show. You actually have a chance to work with Dale Hansen on a regular basis. We're going to show some video on the screen of you actually have a very popular podcast. And tell us about your relationship with Dale Hansen.
Yeah, well, first of all, that was my co-host you saw up on the screen, Miss Lila Levy, and she was actually one that originated this podcast. So it's her idea to come up with the podcast and said, hey, maybe we can drift off into the podcast world and advertise the agency a little bit. Yeah. Along the way, we decided we'll talk insurance a little bit, maybe the first 5 or 6 minutes, and why don't we try to get to know people that make up Dallas, since that's who our clientele is. Somehow, some way, Lila was able to get Dale on the show, and I think he enjoyed our company, or we hit it off well enough that we suggested, hey, Dale, we loved your commentaries. We miss your commentaries. Would you be interested maybe once a month giving a commentary and let us discuss it? You know, people really miss it. We caught him on a good day. I don't know what it was, but he agreed to it. So we are now co-hosting a show with Dale called Dallas Dialogue with Dale Hansen.
Incredible. Yeah. And, you know, I had met him over the years. I was at Channel 4. He was at Channel 8. I was so struck by his humility. I mean, the Dale that we see on television is very self-confident. The Dale I saw in person almost wept on my set. Tell us about the Dale that you've come to know. The
Dale that I've come to know is really twofold. Dale is the Dale you see on TV, but along the way, along the same lines, like you said, so much humility and so much regular guy attitude. At the end of the day, you have to remember Dale is a guy from Iowa. And what I love about Dale Hansen is, and I haven't told him this, but what I love about Dale is, Dale knows who Dale is, but Dale knows who Dale is, if you know what that means. Dale understands that he is this public figure, but at the end of the day, he's just a guy from Iowa. And, and that comes across when you talk to Dale, which is, I've had the fortunate experience of meeting other famous people or people in the public eye, and that doesn't come across a lot. With the Dale, it always comes across. You're going to get the big, gregarious guy, but you're going to get the guy from Iowa, too.
I love that. Yeah. Okay, we've got about a minute left, so Mark, look into the camera on the left and give advice to the young person who's just starting out in the world. And what advice would you give to somebody just graduating college?
Well, I'll tell you what I told my kids: follow your passion. What your parents might want you to do may not necessarily be what you want to do. Go where your passion is, and if you follow your passion. I know we're all concerned about money, but I truly believe if you follow your passion, the money will follow. And if money doesn't follow, I can guarantee you happiness will.
Mic drop moment. Thank you, Mark. That's amazing.
Thank you, Jeff.
We're going to end with the website, which is nwagencies.com. Mark Villasana, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.